Hey everyone, and welcome to Flow Tao Salon. Today, we are diving deep into a really fascinating document. It's called the 2026 Douyin World Creation Industry Report. Now, this is a white paper that gives us this incredible glimpse into a future where social media isn't something you just scroll through, it's a place you actually live in.
All right, so let's get right into it. This report lays out a pretty wild vision for Douyin, which, is basically the counterpart to TikTok. And we're talking about a vision that goes way, way beyond just scrolling through endless short videos. They're talking about building entire interactive worlds.
And yeah, this is really the core question, isn't it? What is Douyin actually building? It's this massive shift from just being a passive viewer, watching videos, to becoming an active participant. We're talking about jumping into virtual worlds, creating your own stuff, and connecting with people on a whole new level.
So, to really wrap our heads around this whole thing, we're going to break it down into 5 key sections. First, that big shift from scrolling to playing. Then we'll look at the new UGC ecosystem, what the user experience is like, the AI that's powering all this creation, and finally, we'll wrap up with the 3 key trends for the future. All right, section 1, from scrolling to playing. So what does this really mean, this fundamental shift? I think the easiest way to picture it is imagine the difference between watching a movie and actually being a character in a video game. That's the leap we're talking about. It's about going from being a spectator to an active player in the game.
And this whole new world, it's all built on a foundation we already know pretty well. UGC, or user-generated content. But, and this is the key, this is like UGC on steroids. It's not just about posting a video anymore. Nope, we're talking about giving regular users the tools to build entire virtual worlds, design their own games, and even host their own social gatherings.
Okay, so section 2 is all about this new UGC ecosystem. If users are building all this stuff, you have to ask, what's holding it all together? How does it all work? Well, the report lays out 3 core pillars that really define the whole structure.
And this diagram right here, it's a great visual for what's happening. You can see the 3 main players, the users, the creators, and the brands. And it's not a straight line, right? It's a loop. They all feed into each other, with the Douyin platform acting as the engine in the middle, making everything run.
So let's break that down. You've got the users, right? They're the foundation. They're here for fun, for connection. Then you've got the creators. These are the builders, the architects, designing the avatars and worlds. And finally, you have the brands. And they're not just running ads, they're creating these really immersive experiences right inside this new world.
Okay, moving on to section 3, the user experience. We've got the structure down, but what about the people? The actual users. What's the hook for them? Why should they care? Well, the report says it really boils down to 2 things, social connection and genuine emotional value. And get this, the scale is just insane. There's this feature called Little Fire People, which are basically these customizable avatars, right? By February 2026, they had 100 million daily active users. 100 million! This isn't some tiny little experiment. This is massive mainstream adoption, and it's happening incredibly fast.
And these users aren't just logging in once in a while. Look at this. A whopping 78.1% of them are active every single day. That level of engagement is, well, it's off the charts. It shows this isn't just a gimmick, it's become a real part of their daily lives. They're obviously getting something important out of it.
So what is that thing they're getting? Why are they so hooked? It all comes down to emotion. The top 3 reasons are social connection, creative expression, and a sense of achievement. Now, the first 2 make sense, right? But that third one, sense of achievement, that's really interesting. It means people aren't just there to chat. They're there to do things, to build, to create, to accomplish goals. It's a game-like loop inside a social platform. So just to quickly recap the key terms here, you have the Little Fire People, these avatars that act as a social catalyst, getting people to interact. And then you have the worlds, which are the virtual spaces that users themselves create for everyone to explore. All right, section 4, AI-powered creation. This brings up a huge question. If you have millions of people who want to create, how do you actually empower them to build all this cool stuff? I mean, not everyone is a professional game developer, right? The answer, and it's probably no surprise, is AI. And this image here shows their strategy perfectly. It's really smart. On one hand, you have these super simple AI tools for everybody else. You can literally just type what you want or click a few buttons and bam, you have an avatar. No coding needed.
But on the other hand, for the pros, they're plugging in heavy-duty engines like Unity so they can build really complex, high-end stuff. And that's the whole goal right there. You lower the barrier to entry, so basically anyone can jump in and start creating. But at the same time, you raise the creative ceiling, so the experts aren't limited. It's a genius move, really. It's about making creativity accessible to everyone, which could totally reshape the entire creator economy. Okay, last section, Section 5, 3 key future trends. We've talked about the why for users, the how of the ecosystem, and the tools they're using. So now let's zoom out. The report pulls all this together into 3 really important findings, the big takeaways that show us where all of this is headed. And here they are, the 3 big shifts that are shaping the future. Number 1, from scrolling to playing. Social media stops being something you watch and starts being something you do. Number 2, from professional to mass creation. Thanks to AI, you don't need to be a pro to build amazing things. This is where the one-person company idea becomes a reality. And third, from user payment to a whole new content economy. This opens up all these new ways for creators to make a living and for brands to get involved. And the report wraps it all up with this really powerful quote. It says Douyin is building a new digital living space that connects reality and virtuality, people, and creation and consumption. So you see, this isn't just about a new app feature. It's about building a whole new plane of existence, a place where our digital and real lives blur together. So that leaves us with a pretty deep question to chew on, right? When social media stops being a feed and becomes a world, how does that change everything? I mean, how will our digital lives be different when we're not just looking at them, but actually living inside them? It's a huge thought.
Flow Tao Salon. May the year of the horse be prosperous.